Hello, everybody, and welcome to, of course, Community News, episode number 10 with Nick C here. Very, very good evening to you all here. Okay, and welcome along if you are just joining us here. And of course, let's go back to my picture here. Oh, we've got a background here for a change. It feels like I'm in the warmest place of Norfolk right now. And of course, everything is all back to front, by the way, just in case you are wondering. I'm trying to figure out how to actually move it from one place to another. But of course, yes, welcome to, of course, the news program, which is community based here. And of course, we are looking for guests that would like to come on at any time. And all I need to do is share the link wherever possible, whether it's WhatsApp, whether it's your email, or whether you are on Facebook. It doesn't matter each way of the coin, as long as you click into the link and join the stream at any one time, which is brilliant here. I will be showing you some videos along the way of the biblical teaching without me actually doing some wordage today, although of course I might do one live as well. So come in the comments if you can, come and say hello if you want to, and of course get interactive with the community feeling here. I will be talking about, of course, in this program for about an hour long kind of show, or an hour and 15 minutes, something of that sort of kind. And of course, it is definitely independent. If you're watching on the captions, otherwise known as the subtitles, then we do appreciate your time coming on to support us. Now, we do have a PayPal link if anybody's interested here, and I'll put it up on the screen for you so you can see all the details here. Where is it actually? It should be somewhere. Perhaps I haven't got it, but of course, I thought I did have it for a second. It seems to have not gone on there. I'll probably find it in just a little bit here. I was hoping that I would have it. Yeah, for some reason it's not on my screen, so I'm going to have to try and get it somewhere. So bear with me here. In actual fact, of course, I'll go to that biblical teaching here whilst I try and find the link here. For some reason, it's not up on the list of my putting up on the screen. So, of course, what I'll do is do this biblical teaching, and you can watch it right now in actual beautiful words. Hopefully I read them to the best ability there. It will be time to go to the biblical teaching about money number 2 very shortly, so please do stay with the one you're on or move on to the next video. Hello everybody, and welcome to myself and Nick C here from this day to Wednesday, the 28th of May 2025, on the 5th month of the year. Hopefully I've got that correct. Anyway, of course, I'm now going to talk to you about the biblical teaching about money number 1 from the UCB, United Christian Broadcasters, word for today. So here we go. The silver is mine and the gold is mine, says the Lord of hosts. God owns everything. If you doubt that, read these scriptures. The silver is mine and the gold is mine, says the Lord of hosts. The earth is the Lord's, and its fullness, the world and those who dwell therein. Every good gift and every perfect gift is from above and comes from the Father. Both riches and honour come from you, and you reign over all. In your hand is power and might. In your hand it is to make great and to give strength to all. What do those scriptures mean? They mean that the bank account, the stock portfolio, or the title deed to the property may be held in your name, but God actually owns it all. You say, then what am I? You are the administrator of God's estate and the executor of his will. Can an administrator do as he or she chooses without someone's estate? The answer is no. They are required to manage it on behalf of someone else. Can the executor do as he or she chooses without someone's last will and testament? No, the answer is to that. They are required to follow the instructions given in that will. And if you want to know more about the terms of God's will for your life, they're found in his word. And the move God entrusts to you. The more of you, Jesus said, everyone to whom much is given, from him much will be required, and to whom much has been committed, of him they will ask the more. That's Luke 12/48 NKJV. Now then, of course, I hope you have enjoyed that, whether it's giving you a tear of joy or just joy to listen to those beautiful words. Hopefully I read them to the best ability there. It will be time to go to the biblical teaching about money number 2 very shortly. So please do stay with the one you're on or move on to the next video. Oh dear, we have a problem with that video here. We'll try and get it sorted out as soon as possible here. I'm not sure why we seem to have a problem with it. Remove from the studio. Let's try and kind of like put it back together, and it should come up now. For some reason, it's gone blank. It should be the second one here. Actually, oh, there we go. It's coming up very soon. So hopefully you could actually stay with the one you're on if you're able to. Right. Okay, here we go. You shall remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the power to get wealth. After 400 years of living like slaves, the Israelites were about to take possession of the promised land. And God has a concern. But what is it, you might ask yourself? The same concern he has had about each of one of us. When you have little, you realize how dependent that you are actually on God. But when you have much, your tendency is to forget God, the source of every blessing. Note what David said when God's people gave generously to build the temple. All things come from you, and of your own we have given you. God, all this abundance that we have prepared to build you a house is all your own. The prayer David prayed that day left a lasting impression on his son Solomon, who later wrote, "As for every man to whom God has given riches and wealth, and given him power to eat of it, to receive his heritage and rejoice in his labor. This is the gift of God." Ecclesiastes 5/19 NKJV. You say, "I worked hard to get to the top of my career," or "I worked hard to build this business." Who gave you the strength? Who gave you the talent? Who gave you the strategy, the connections, the resources to do it? If you think it was you, read this scripture. Write it down and carry it with you. Thus says the Lord, your Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. I am the Lord your God, who teaches you to profit, who leads you by the way you should go. Thank you very much indeed for watching that, and it is a pleasure to bring a close to it. Yet the biblical teaching about money, number 3, follows. Okay, this is just coming back from Cambridge here, as you can clearly see here on this video clip here, as it's just finished there. And of course, I was, getting ready to say the word Wyndham, which is spelled Wymondham. So, yes, Wymondham, I think it is, or Wyndham, which is probably what it's pronounced here. If you've never been on a train from Norwich to Cambridge, then of course that was an exclusive for you there. Right, okay, let's go back to my screen here. And don't forget, of course, anybody here is welcome to support the channel in any way. Of course, the link is now going to come up on the screen right in front of you. If, of course, anyone has any questions whatsoever, they will go up on the screen right this minute here. And support is welcomed. That's the GoFundMe link and the PayPal link, which, of course, both you copy and paste the link, and that is the way to donate. We are pledging £1 from each person, which hopefully we will get at least 1 or 2 this month. It will depend on how many people are aware of the donation spree, which of course goes towards the cost running of this channel. So yeah, I'm here to talk about, of course, some promotional stuff here, and let's get to some of the events here. If you're watching on the replay, then some of these events are probably going to be obsolete, so please be aware of that. I'm here doing this as a community here, and of course I'm just a community journalist that like to share, of course, a little bit of promotion of what is going on up and down the country as possible, but locally as well, which is what I mainly focus on, the local stuff as well as the beyond stuff as well. So yeah, if you're interested in supporting the page of Touring with Nick C on Facebook, we do have a Facebook page. We also have We Love East Anglia and We Love Haverhill. And of course, the more people that know about us, the better. We are independent here. We are not regulated by the off communists, as they will say it. So we're here to get people talking, and of course, the reason why we are getting people to talk with each other about going to like talk events, for example, is that of course we're trying to connect people rather than, of course, have no voice at all. So yeah, being social is very, very key, and we'd like to have a social guest on here that likes talking. So if you are one that likes talking and likes talking to other people and all that kind of thing, and just mixing up with new people at all costs and all that kind of thing, please do get in touch with us here, and we'd like to speak to you, which is what this show is all about here, as well as my other TikTok program as well. I seem to get more people watching on TikTok for some reason, and sometimes the wrong people kind of tune in as well. And sometimes it can be like this as well. You can have a number of people tuning in, and then, of course, it disappears from your very eyes. But if you are watching, yep, if you are definitely tuned in and watching on the, I would say, the replay, and then massive hello to you. Um, so yeah, I've just got to share a link here. Just bear with me. Okay, it's here. Just bear with me. There we go. So yeah, live and in living color, I've actually got a good background here, and it's obvious, isn't it? But of course, it feels like I'm in Norfolk, to be honest with you. But of course, I am live and direct in living color. So we showed you the biblical teaching about money at number 1 and 2, and we've got number 3 to mention here. And also, of course, we got some people. Hello, uh, you can actually see your comments up on the screen. How cool is that? This is StreamYard version, by the way. You got muted again, have you? Where? On the TikTok, do you mean? So, yeah. Are you talking about TikTok where you haven't got? Ah, right. Okay. Again, I don't know what's going on here. Is it the same people again? Tell me yes or no to that comment. I can't really say too much here. But of course, yeah, welcome to the community channel here. We're going to be talking about the community stuff here. I'm still yet to know about the 236 bus going from Haverhill to Sudbury. I'm trying to ask everywhere possible, but no answer anywhere. Yeah, same people. Oh my goodness me. Yeah, I've actually messaged Summer about something as well, and that's relating to that as well. I can't say too much on here in case they do watch in. It's relating to you know what, but yeah, let's forget about that and let's talk about places to go. You know, I've got the Cambridge edition here. I don't know if you can see it on your screen at home. It's this magazine here. It's in reverse order, and it is the June version here. So yeah, local living done well. Of course, a June 2025 edition. There's one each and every month, and if you don't know about it, do check it out because you know I think it's definitely worth getting one of these magazines here to find out what's going on in the Cambridge area. Somebody went up and did a view from the top of the Mary Martyrs Catholic Church or something like that. And of course, yes, they went up there and explored some of the views, and there is some fantastic pictures in this magazine showing that view from the top. Of course, I'll read you what has been said from the beginning from the editor Louise Hoffman, with all best wishes there, as he says at the end of the beginning letter. She is a new editor because there's been different editors over the time. So basically, this is what it says at the beginning of the book here, just in case you don't have, a good eyesight to read. So, yeah, from the top, a few weeks ago, anyone passing the Church of Our Lady of the Assumption and the English Martyrs on Hills Road must have been spotted decked out in the high vis and ascending all 19 levels of the scaffolding that's currently in situ there. It was an immense privilege to be invited behind the scenes to learn about the crucial conservation work being carried out. And you can see it for yourself too on page number 20 of the Cambridge edition, Local Living Done Well, June 2025. And there is a version actually online. There's a magazine, or you can read the version on your phones as well. I prefer the old magazines, but of course they're trying to save paper and all that kind of thing by making things go online more. So we read on. Gazing out across the Cambridge skyline from such a vintage point. In fact, the steeple here is very nearly the same height as Ely's Cathedral West Tower. If you've never been to Ely, check out the cathedral. It's definitely well worth it. It's like a leaning tower of pizza. In Italy, it's like the leaning tower of Pisa, not pizza. But I know the Italians do make pizza, or it's come from Italy originally. But of course, it does look like the actual Ely Cathedral is leaning to the side a little bit. It's kind of like rather worrying, actually, to look at. But anyway, of course, it's particularly struck by just how green our city is, which means, of course, the green land, which is quite useful to know about, like Parker's Piece and things like that, like the country parks and things. So, yeah, I could see the grassy expanse of Parker's Piece to my right and the tops of so many trees, their fresh spring leaves now fully unfurled like green pom-poms lining the streets, quads, and open spaces. Of course, now is the time to really make the most of these or those green spaces and the fresh air as we ramble towards midsummer. In this issue of Cambridge edition of June 2025, they've got top recommendation of alfresco dining, page 44, and some picnic perfect cycling routes courtesy of Cam Cycle, page number 8 on the Cambridge edition. There's also lots of garden inspiration for the coming months, with our focus turning to that perennial, if it's pronounced right, favourite, the rose, which is on page number 78 of the magazine of Cambridge edition. Meanwhile, if the summer has inspired you to redesign your outdoor space, you'll find expert advice for planning that landscaping project on page number 468. But if, in the coming months, the clouds should gather for a more traditional British summer, never fear. There's plenty of rainy day family fun to be found across the city. Find out on page 34 in the next installment of our 3-part series. All the best wishes. Louise Hoffman, the editor of the Cambridge edition. So, yeah, welcome along. If you just joined us here, and thank you very much for sticking by here. And we've got plenty of other news to stick around for. So let's have a look at this. Have we got some events in here? Right, okay. Um, Serving cyclists since 1895. It's called a Benno, Benno. The Benno boost with utility design is up for anything and able to carry more than 6 times the local typical bike. Flatten hills and shorten distance with the industry of leading Bosch mid-drive electric motor and dual battery option, delivering an unrivaled performance with up to 160 miles of range. The award-winning boost is many bikes in one with smart interchangeable rack and rail system that lets you pick and choose from dozens of possible configurations to suit the mission and your lifestyle. Right, okay, there's something else to know about as well in Cambridge. Unfortunately, we're not able to go to it because we are way on those dates here. Saturday the 14th and Sunday the 15th of June, which is the Cambridge Town and Country Fair. And that takes place on Parker's Piece in Cambridge, CB11LY. Set in one of the best known spaces in Cambridge Parker's Piece, with a wide variety of exhibitions, and catering, licensed bar, and live music. Steam engines, equestrian displays, and World War One mounted reenactment, and horse displays, and birds of prey, and children's entertainment. Of course, the time of this Cambridge Town and Country Fair is from 10 a.m. till 5 p.m. Please come by foot or bicycle or use the park and ride. Or actually, you can come from Hayville if you really want to. And it is free entry, by the way. Now, of course, let's talk about, of course, the Fen Drayton Lakes, which actually is easily accessed from the busway path. This RSPB reserve was once a quarry, but is now alive with nature, located at one end of the string of wetlands and fens that runs for 20 miles along the Great Ouse flood plain. Fen Drayton comprises open water. I didn't read that very well. And wetland habitats mixed with grassland, scrub, and woodland. Take your binoculars along some wildlife spotting. You could see swallows, swift, and great crested krebs, mute swans, and even otters. Distance from Great St Mary's, King's Parade, about 14 miles. Okay, just remember where you heard that. Okay, cycling support here in Cambridge here, in need of repairs or maybe some new gear. Why not check out these city cycling specialists at the Townsend Light Blue Cycle Centre, Chesterton Road, and the Bicycle Collective, and of course the Cycle Centric at High Street, Longstanton, and of course the Bicycle Collective is the bicyclecollective.co.uk, and the Bikeman at Market Square, thebikeman.co.uk. And of course, you've got St Ives and the Houghton Mill here. Enjoy a traffic-free busway path with an optional extension to the National Trust Houghton Mill via the Thicket Path. A great pit stop for coffee and cake. Idyllic Houghton Mill features a riverside tea room, And why not explore the 18th century working watermill while you're there? Alternatively, there are lots to see in the historic St Ives, including its iconic bridge and built-in chapel and its market square, local pubs and museum. The distance from Great St Mary's King Parade is 18 miles, and of course there is a QR code. If you're interested, I'll show you the QR code. It's that little square there. Although you're not seeing it very well on your screens at home, but yeah, Cherry Hinton Hall. If you've not heard of that, give that a check out. A great choice for a family cycle ride. In this large park, you will find a playground, a sandpit area, tree trail, tennis courts, table tennis, and 2 paddling pools, and plenty of space for picnicking. Cherry Hinton Hall Park can be accessed from Dawn's Lane after cycling along the snaky path by Cherry Hinton Brook. Distance from Great St Mary's King's Parade is 3 miles. Wow. So the Cherry Hinton Hall is well worth checking out. So let's have a look at some other events going on here. So if there is an event near you, please do let me know here. And of course, yeah, get in touch with us today. So 32 minutes gone on the clock here on the show. What we're going to do now is going to take a little bit of a breather break, and we'll be right back after this. Okay, everybody, welcome back here, and hopefully you're enjoying it like no other here. And thank you very much for tuning in to the Community News episode number 10. Sometimes we occasionally go back to the Community News, and sometimes, sometimes I fly over to the TikTok page and play some music in the background, which is what I might do towards the end of my live streaming tonight. So, yeah, we are now going to be doing community news. I will try my best to give you topics here to speak about so the show gets a little bit more interesting here. If you are watching here, please do subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure you do that and subscribe by, of course, subscribing for free. And of course, should we get enough viewing points here to watch our programs here, we will actually be not only delighted, but of course, we will be having the membership here, which is nothing to do with the subscription. It is free to subscribe, and the memberships are usually, of course, the monthly content that you will not get on the main live programs. But of course, we are saying that totally independent here. So yeah, we carry on with the community news as it said on the screen there, and we of course were saying that we were back earlier. I was doing that behind the scenes, saying of course all these kind of words and putting them up on the screen here. So it's just all me at the moment, and it's quite fascinating, isn't it? It's only one of me behind the scenes doing every single work possible here. And of course, the camera is doing its work on its own, and the microphone is doing its work on its own, and so on. But mostly it's just me, and of course, me behind the scenes as well. So I'm doing all the work all in one, and it's incredibly difficult to keep going. And of course, in due course, we might actually have a place that we can actually do this show for about an hour. And yeah, the problem is, I would then have to try and find a place where I can use this mixer. And of course, yeah, and of course, I would then have to be coming back using this mixer as well. But yeah, I'd have to find a place where I can actually put the mixer. That is the only problem about that. But anyway, of course, yes. We'll talk about that at a later stage here. We're talking about Cambridge Community News right this minute. And then, of course, I'll be talking to you about other news that, of course, is on the actual community note and other news that is relevant to the public for anyone to hear. We are not a national news station at all whatsoever. So we're not going to go further into the political side, and we don't strive to do that thing as well. We want to get people back in a different way and, more sociable than ever. If you're interested in getting social and being a guest on my show, do not hesitate to, of course, let me know about it. And we'd love to have you on the air and talk about, of course, community access to, like, of course, social events. Would you like that more in your area, or would you prefer something else or something very similar? But yeah, there's, I don't think, enough of it. And of course, in some areas, it's lacking more than others. But yeah, anyway, here are some events. I'm going to go from the 14th of June 2025 because that's when I'm away anyway. So I'm not able to do those events personally, but someone here watching here might be able to do those events. All right. Okay. Let's have a butchers at these then. On the 14th of June, and of course, that being a Saturday, it starts from the Saturday because I think we go on a Friday, I believe, all being well. So yeah, 14th of June 2025. The event is Cambridge Town and Country Fair on Parker's Piece. Enjoy free entry to discover arts and crafts, fashion and beauty, food and drink, plus gift and garden exhibitors, uh, which runs until the 15th of June. So it's on 2 days on that one, Saturday and Sunday. And of course, there's an event also on the same day at Jesus Green. It's called Cambridge Pride. If anyone's interested in that, a day to celebrate diversity and unity. Alongside the colourful parade, there will be a dance tent, a community hive, stalls, LGBTQ plus, history cafe, and wellbeing sessions. All right, okay. So that's happening on the 14th, on the same day there. And Garden Festival of Plants at the Botanic Garden of the University of Cambridge, or Cambridge University. There's something for everyone at this fun-filled fact-finding day, set against the radiant backdrop of summer in the beautiful University Botanic Gardens. Apparently, it's going to be lovely weather next week for that. As for theatre on the 17th, of course, the Community Mumford Theatre, this satirical play debuting in Cambridge tells an uncomfortably possible story about the ever-increasing power of billionaires. Runs until the 21st of June 2025, just in case you're wondering. And of course, the Midsummer Fair in Cambridge, which is on the 18th of June 2025. Enjoy all the fun of the fair with children's games, thrill rides, stalls, and kiosks selling candy, floss, donuts, and plenty of other treats. And on the 20th, the Ministry of Sound Classical in Newmarket Racecourse. On this Newmarket night, 90s dance hits will be reimagined by the 30-piece orchestra, DJs, and vocalists. That's the Ministry of Sound Classical Newmarket Racecourse. And that is the music section here. And that takes place on the 20th of June. That's the 20th of June, 2025. And comedy, Marcus Brigstock of Cambridge Junction in his vibrant Mango live show. Renowned comedian Marcus Brigstock takes the stage to ask, "What are men for?" I think I've heard of that, comedy guy there. And festival, the Wildwood Festival in Linton. Rave away at this woodland festival with art installations, workshop, and sound healing classes. Runs until the 23rd of June, the Wildwood Festival. And it's the 20th of June, 2025 there. Okay, let's have a look at some other events here. Right, okay. Okay. Right, okay. On the 21st of June, this event is worth putting to your diary here. Summer solstice celebration at Ben's Yard, perfect for families. This lively event features a special performance by a talented local 4D dance group, along with face painting for all ages, from bold, colourful designs to shimmering, sparky touches as well. That's on the 21st of June, 2025. And it's at Ben's Yard in Cambridge on the 21st of June 2025, as I just said. And the Starshine Night Walk in Cambridge, Shelford Rugby Club. Choose a 10 or 5 mile route and walk to raise funds for local people living with an advanced serious illness, life limiting condition, or who require end of life care. And that is also on the 21st of June 2025 in Cambridge. And that's the Starshine Night Walk in Cambridge, Shelford Rugby Club. And drinks, summer solstice, provenance, kitchen in Whistlesford. Celebrate the summer solstice at this special event where you can actually soak up the sunshine and enjoy laid back summer vibes in uh, Provenance Kitchens Run Hut, or Rum Hut, which is RUM. Okay, of course, that is the events as of that is concerned here. Just some of the events that are well worth seeing there, and there's lots of things going on in Cambridge well worth knowing about. So, of course, this is the place to be for, of course, that community news, that community feel. And of course, if there's anyone that wants to be a guest and talking about their event, come here to our show here right now, and of course, let us know you'd like to be a guest on the program. So, yeah, the program is flexible, so it can vary from time to time. It can go from 10 o'clock till, of course, 11 o'clock, or sometimes a little bit earlier. But it all depends on what people are doing, you see, and if they have to get up the next day. But like I say, there is another event worth knowing about. I just want to quickly mention it before my battery runs out on my phone, on my iPhone, that is. Um, if I get it in time, that is. And of course, it's the event which is the Edge Cafe event, which of course is free ticket event. It's not often that you get a chance for a free ticket event here, and they're promoting this event. So yeah, right. It says May here, but of course I'll have to double check. But it's actually Saturday, July the 5th. Right. Okay. It's July the 5th, which is good news. Not June the 5th, which of course June has now gone. It is 11 a.m. till 3 p.m. GMT, and it's situated at the Edge Cafe, 351 Mill Road, Cambridge, CB1 3DF, and it lasts for about 4 hours. A community fair at the Edge. We are, of course, ideally situated to host outside stalls, live music, and barbecue inside jumble sale and cake. Sounds lovely, this idea here. And you can actually get free tickets to this if you go to the event brit.co.uk for the events. So, yeah, this is the Edge Summer Fair, which is, of course, on Saturday, the 5th of July, 2025. I will remind people of these events more near the time as well. So, yeah, looking forward to that because I've actually got a free ticket for that. So I can't wait for that. So, yeah, I hopefully will be able to bring some money for that, all being well. Also, something else I want to mention about the Farmhouse Inn: a good ale, good food, good times, quality fresh bar meals, fresh fish daily, and open 7 days, lunch and dinner. Senior citizens lunches, Monday to Friday. Times are subject to, of course, according to what they say, COVID-19 adjustments, but that's long gone anyway. And of course, the fully stocked bar, including guest hours and Essex Breweries accommodation, all rooms en suite with TV and traditional British Sunday lunches. Reservation essential, and follow us on Facebook. That's what they say. info@farmhouseinn.org. That's of course Monk Street in Thaxted in Essex. CM6 2NR and 01371 is the number to ring for more information. about the actual pub, 830864 and farmhouseinn.org. Absolutely brilliant here. And of course, yes, if you want to know more information, those are the details about that particular pub. That's according to this little magazine that I've got here. 5 parishes here, May 2025. Right, I'm now going to, of course, oh dear, have I got biblical teaching about money here? I'm actually going to try and find it somewhere. I don't know where I'm going to find it. It may well be in here. So yeah, I'm going to go back a time here. Right, okay. There's a third one here, and then a fourth one, and then a fifth one. So that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. In actual fact, before we leave, because time is against me, and I've got to, of course, shoot off here. I've only got 1 hour to spare here regarding this particular show. So yeah, just a quick reminder once more here. Thank you very much indeed for watching, even on replay if you have been watching. And thanks to, of course, Nicole watching earlier as well. And I do hope everything is, of course, okay with her side of things. Right. Okay. Yes, sorry about the background here. It's not always that great here. I'm actually going to try and change it now to normality here. The virtual background is not all that great, is it? So I'm back to normal now. Back to the studio here so you can see me in full here. So this is the word for today, this booklet here. And I'm going back in time here, which is the, of course, spring 2025, February, March, and April. Written by Bob and Debbie Gass, as usual. It's this little magazine here, just in case you're wondering. So the biblical teaching about money. Let's put some music on here. Let's give me a little bit of. Oh yeah. Okay, of course, let's set the scene here. Hopefully, you can still hear my voice here. And welcome if you are just tuning in, or tuning in, actually, is the right word. The biblical teaching about money. No, the biblical teaching about money, number 3. Let's go. Naked I come from my mother's words, and naked shall I return there. Job chapter 1 to 21 NKJV. Here's what Job had to say about his great wealth. Naked I come from my mother's womb, and naked I shall return there. Job understood that we all enter life with our hands empty, and we all exit life with our hands empty. The only thing we can take with us when we go is what we have sent ahead. Jesus talks about this. Do not lay up for yourselves treasures on the earth, where moth and rust destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust destroys, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Matthew 6:19 to 21 NKJV. When Jesus referred to treasure, his audience would have understood that he was referring to clothing, food, or money. Rich people wore the best clothes, but moths could tear holes in them. Rich people, ate the best food, but rats and worms could consume it. Rich people owned silver and gold, but since there was no banks they stored their money in their houses, because houses were made of clay. Thieves would conveniently reach through the wall and rob it. What Jesus was saying was, don't put your treasure where it can be damaged, decayed, or done away with. A pastor writes, Jesus doesn't want your money. It's already his. Jesus wants your heart. But since your heart always follows your money, he wants you to surrender your money, your wealth, your stuff to him. When you do that, you're investing internally instead of time. Right, okay, one more to read to you. The biblical teaching about money, number 4. Every man shall give as he is able. So every man shall give as he is able. Right, okay. Deuteronomy, chapter 16 to 17, NKJV. Okay, let's have, of course, my other tune here, which is ambient sound. Okay, hopefully you can hear that in the background as well as my talking here. When it comes to giving, here are 2 important truths the Bible teaches about money. Number 1, God does not expect us all to give the same amount. Every man shall give as he is able. And I'm actually going to still carry on talking here. Let's go to this. So, of course, you can still hear me at the same time. According to the blessing of the Lord, your God, which he has given to you. Verse 17, NKJV. Paul writes, for if the willingness is there, the gift is acceptable according to what one has, not according to what does not have. 2 Corinthians chapter 8 to 12 NIV. Number 2, God will ask you to make sacrifice to fulfill his kingdom purposes in the earth. In order to reserve the judgment of what God has had come upon the people, King David was instructed to go up, erect an altar to the Lord, and on the threshing floor of Araunah, the Jebusite, 2 Samuel chapter 24, 18, NKJV. When Araunah and David saw David coming, so when Araunah saw David coming, he offered him the land free of charge. But David said, no, but I will surely buy it from you for a price, nor will I offer burnt offerings to the Lord my God, which cost me nothing. With that which cost me nothing. So David bought the threshing floor and the oxen for 50 shekels of silver. And David built there an altar to the Lord and offered burnt offerings and peace offerings. So the Lord heeded the prayers for the land, and the plague was withdrawn from the Israel. VV 24 to 25 NKJV. God does not ask us to give equally. He asks us to sacrifice equally. And here is the good news. On the other side of every sacrifice, God asks you to make for him. There waits you his blessings and his rewards. The biblical teaching about money, number 4. So, yeah, the biblical teaching about money, number 4. That's the end of that one. Word for today. Final one here to leave you with. The biblical teaching about money, number 5. Now about the collection of, or actually for the Lord's people. 1 Corinthians chapter 16 to 1 NIV. Now the collection for the Lord's people. When a recession hit Jerusalem, Paul asked the believers of Corinth to give offerings to meet his need. Now about the collection for the Lord's people. Do what I told the Galatian churches to do. On the first day of every week, each one of you should set aside a sum of money in keeping with your income, saving it up so that when I come, no collections will have to be made. Then, when I arrive, I will give letters of introduction to men you approve and send them with your gift to Jerusalem. VV 1 to 3 NIV UK. A healthy church will always have 2 things, in-reach and outreach. It will endeavor to meet both the spiritual and material needs of people. In the Old Testament, God told his people, if there is among you a poor man of the brethren, you shall not harden your heart, nor shut your hand from your poor brother. Deuteronomy chapter 15 to 7 NKJV. When you have a true encounter with Christ, you will have a heart for hurting people. Then Zacchaeus said to the Lord, look, Lord, I give half of my goods to the poor, and if I have taken everything from anyone by false accusation, I restore fourfold. And Jesus said to him, today salvation has come to his house. Luke 19 to 8 to 9 NKJV. When it comes to giving to God, the Bible encourages us to share what we have and give generously. You should be guided by your love for God, so let each one give as he proposes in his heart, not grudgingly or necessity. Necessity is the word actually. So, of course, not grudgingly or necessity. For God loves a cheerful giver. 2 Corinthians chapter 9 to 7 NKJV. That's the word for today, the biblical teaching about money, number 5. Of course, if you want me to read it out to you for the short videos only, then I am happy to do that. Anyway, I'd like to cut a long story short here. Thank you very much indeed for watching here. We're going to say goodbye to you all now. And do take care, and we'll carry on fighting the community spirit and spreading the community spirit for you. Till next time, take care of yourselves, and we're out of here for now.